Hey everybody, welcome to Game 2 of the 1986 World Series, and I'm recording this the afternoon before Game 2 of the 2019 World Series, which the Nationals hung on Game 1 5-4 last night, taking out Garrett Cole, and now it'll be Strasburg against Justin Verlander in Game 2. But right now we got Game 2 of the 1986 World Series. Game 1, just as a recap, was played on Stratomatic, and it was the Mets picking up 3 in the first off Bruce Hurst, and Ron Darling made it stand as the Mets won 3-0, take a 1-0 lead. We've now shifted to Game 2 and the game engine of APBA, and a stellar matchup with the two aces of the staffs. It'll be Dwight Gooden for the Mets against Roger Clemens of the Red Sox. And I kind of took a page out of Chris Tabletop Delaware, used to be formerly Stratomatic Delaware. Chris Tabletop Delaware, with his APBA, he would put baseball cards on one side and the APBA card on the other. So we've got the actual baseball card here, and on the other side is their APBA card. So if we look at the APBA cards for both pitchers, we can see that Clemens is an X, Y, and a Z. Gooden is an X. Now I am doing the Merino boards, so Clemens is going to be an 18. Gooden will be a 14. Pitchers will hit, so they will bat ninth, so there's no DH, of course, but the APBA is very good about the pitcher cards actually have the batting stats on them already, so not sure how that works with the American League because they didn't use a DH, or they didn't bat all year, so Clemens kind of, probably has not a very good card. All right, let's go through the starting lineups. First for the Red Sox. Leading things off, playing third base, will be Wade Boggs. Batting second at second base is Marty Barrett. Batting third and playing first base is Bill Buckner. Batting cleanup in left field is Jim Rice. Dwight Evans in right field will hit fifth. Rich Gedman, the catcher, will hit sixth. Dave Henderson, I couldn't find a Topps 87 card for him, so he has to go naked, just doing his APBA card. He will hit in the seventh position. Spike Owen will bat eighth, and of course Roger Clemens will bat ninth. All right, so let's look at the Mets starting lineup to face Roger Clemens. It'll be Nails, Len Dykstra in center, Wally Backman's at second, Keith Hernandez at first, Gary Carter catching, Darryl Strawberry in right, Danny Heap gets the call in left field tonight, Howard Johnson, Hojo's at third, Rafael Santana's at short, and of course Gooden is behind, or on the mound rather. So we are set to get going. It'll be Wade Boggs stepping in. Oh, and just before I get going, totaling up both defensive teams, they're both going to be using fielding column number 2. And I do have the Merino boards, which I'll be reading those off camera. And since I don't want to do a whole lot of math calculations, if there is a sacrifice fly that would normally call for a lot of calculations, I will go to the basic APBA book and get the sacrifice fly results from that. All right, so first things first, it is Wade Boggs to lead it off against Dwight Gooden. We'll flip Boggs over so you can see his APBA qualities there in his card. And game 2 is underway. Look at that, 66 right off the bat. That's a 0, so we're going to the second column. 66 again, it's gone. How about that? How does that happen? Back-to-back 66s, and Wade Boggs starts off the ball game with a home run. How many times is that going to happen? That's definitely unusual. So that'll bring up Marty Barrett, second place hitter. We'll flip Marty around. 26. 26 is a 27. And a 27 on the Merino boards. 27 says it's ground out 5-3 unless the pitcher has an X quality. And Gooden has that X, so it will be a strikeout. Marty Barrett gone. One away for Billy Buckner. There's Billy Buck. Bill Buckner. 55, more doubles. That's an 8. But that's going to take us to the Merino boards. Buckner against a right-hander is a +2. Gooden's a 14, so that +2 drops him down to a 12. So a 12 on an 8. Can a 12 stop an 8? It cannot. How about that? Runner with bases empty. A 12 and an 8. A 13 or better would stop it, but a 12 will not. So the fact that Buckner was +2 against righties got him that base hit. So it will be a base hit for Mr. Buckner. 1 out single. And that'll bring up left fielder Jim Rice. Jim Rice. We'll go to the runner on first chart. 32. 32 is a 26. So a 26 with a runner at first. A 26 turns out to be first on fielder's choice. Runner out at second, 4 to 6. And that's for no matter what fielding rating is for the team. So it's a 4-6 fielder's choice. As Backman gets over to Santana for the force. 2 down, and that's going to bring up Dwight Evans. So there is Dwight Evans. He will step up against Mr. Gooden. 52, 27. 27 is going to be a ground out 5-3, but if the pitcher has an X, it's a strikeout. So since Gooden has that X, it will be a strikeout to end the inning. But the Red Sox strike first with a Wade Boggs homer to lead off the ball game at the end of half an inning here at Shea Stadium. It is Red Sox 1, Mets coming to bat. And leading things off for the Mets will be Nails, Len Dykstra. See what he can do here against Clemens. 43. 43 is a 29. Go back to our bases empty chart on a 29. 29 says ground out pitcher to first unless the pitcher has an X. Clemens obviously has the X, so it will be a strikeout. He's got the X and the Y, so he's going to get a lot of strikeouts. 1 away for Wally Backman. Doesn't have to deal with Tony Pena in this game, but does have to deal with Roger Clemens. 65 is a 35, and that's going to be a foul out to the catcher. Pretty standard result on APBA when you get that 35. It's a foul out most times, either catcher or first, depending on base situation. Keith Hernandez stepping to the plate. 12 for Keith Hernandez is a 25. 25 on the chart. 4-3 ground up with the pitcher having an X. It's a strikeout. So Keith Hernandez out on strikes, and the Mets go quietly here in the first. We go to the second. Score Red Sox 1 and the Mets nothing. And Rich Gedman, the catcher, will lead things off for the Red Sox. 15 is an 8. Gedman is a +2. We've been down this road before. A +2 makes him a 12, and we know a 12 will not stop an 8. Bill Buckner got to hit that way. So same result here for Gedman. He's going to get that base hit to lead off, and that'll bring up Hindu, Dave Henderson. Let's see if Hindu can do. 32 is a 26. Probably can do not. 26. First on the fielder's choice, 4 to 6. We've already had that result as well. So fielder's choice, 4-6 ground out. Henderson now the new runner at first base with 1 out for Spike Owen. Shortstop acquired from Seattle along with Hindu midseason. So Spike Owen, and Clemens is on deck to hit. Owen, 62 is a 30. Then we universally in APBA, a 30 is a fly to left. So that's 2 down. And it's going to bring up Roger Clemens. Obviously, his hitting card is not going to have a whole lot going for it. So Clemens, 36. 36 is a 33. And a 33 is going to be pop out to third. So at least he didn't strike out. And one thing with APBA, different than Strat, a pitcher's not going to get a break and get a hit off a pitcher hitting card, or a pitcher's card versus his own card. In APBA, you're on your own, so your own card better do something for you. All right, here's Gary Carter to start the bottom of the second. 21. 21's a 30, and again, universally a fly to left in APBA. So 1 down for the straw man, Darryl Strawberry. See what Strawberry can do. 22, double is always good. It's a 0. So go to second column on straw. It's a 15. And that second column is a 1, so it is gone unless Clemens can stop it. So let's look at the 1. Let's look at the 1 here. A 1 home run. And let's see here. Strawberry is a +5, so it's going to knock Clemens down to a 13. 13 can't stop it, so it is a home run all the way. So Strawberry has tied the ball game. Strawberry, with that blast, has tied the game. And that'll bring up Danny Heap, getting the start as a lefty hitter in left field. 24-13 struck him out. So Clemens must have got irritated giving up that home run. So he put the whiff on Heath. And here is Hojo, Howard Johnson. See what Hojo can do. 2 outs, bases empty. A 55 is a double. It's a good start. That's an 8. Hojo, however, is a -1 against righties. So that makes him a 19. And a 19 is going to definitely stop an 8. A 19 will turn that 8 into a 32, which is a fly to right. So the inning is over, but the Mets tie it on the Strawberry home run. The end of 2. Sox 1, Mets 1. And we start the top of the 3rd with the top of the order, Wade Boggs. With that leadoff home run to start the game on those 66 rolls. This one's a 63, so not quite there. 31. And we know 31 is a fly to center. That's another one of those standard APBA rolls. 31, 30, and 32 are all flyouts. Marty Barrett. 46. 46 is a 27. And a 27 is a 5-3 ground out unless the pitcher is an X, which he does. So K-City from Marty Barrett. He has struck out twice. Gooden's got him twice. Here's Buckner. Billy Buck singled. Raced on the fielder's choice. 25 is an 8. Buckner's a +2. We're back in the same boat. We got a 12. We know it's a base hit. So Buckner, second time in a row he's gotten that base hit by being a +2 against righties. So Buckner gets his second hit. He's 2 for 2. And here's Jim Rice. 41. 41 is a 24. Runner on first. And a 24 would be a double play, but there's already 2 outs, so it's simply going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice. And that will take care of the 3rd inning for the Red Sox. We go relatively quiet. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. And number 8 hitter Rafael Santana will get his first at bat, followed by Gooden and then Dykstra. 55 double, that's an 8. He's a -4 though. So that's going to make Clemens a 22, and a 22 to an 8 is going to knock him to a 30, which is a fly to left. So Santana retired, brings up Mr. Gooden. And Gooden on the year, that doesn't give his batting average, but sure he at least did a little something. 15 is a 23. 23 is actually, we're checking an error on the pitcher. So let's see what Clemens' defense. Clemens is a 1 defensively, which makes him fielding column 3. So yeah, it's really, unless he's a fielding column 1, he'd make the play. Otherwise, it's an error. So Gooden reaches on the Clemens error. How about that? So Clemens boots it, and his counterpart reaches. So Gooden's aboard with 1 out. And it brings up Lenny Dykstra. Nails Lenny Dykstra. 43. 43 is a 29. Runner at first. 29. And now it says if you have a Y for a strikeout, it is a strikeout. And obviously Clemens has that Y. So chance of a potential double play is erased on the strikeout. So Dykstra maybe caught a break there. Could have been a double play, but the strikeout reigns supreme. And here's Wally Backman. 65, that's another 35, which is another foul out. Yep, unless the pitcher has a W and Clemens has a Z, so it is a foul out to the catcher. Second time Backman's done that. At the end of 3, we are tied at a run apiece. So the pitchers having their way so far, just sans a couple of solo homers. They've been in control the rest of the way. Here's Dwight Evans. Dewey Evans. 54 is a 32, and we know a 32 is a fly to right. So 1 away. And that'll bring up Rich Gedman, catcher. 42 for Gedman's a 38. 38 is a ball, so ball 1 on Gedman. 61's a 24. 24 is a ground out short to first. So ground out to Santana, 2 down. And that'll bring up Hindu. 2 outs and the base is empty for Hindu. 21's a 13. He strikes him out. So that's going to end the inning. Gooden, since that leadoff homer, has been solid. We go to the bottom of the 4th. And it'll be Keith Hernandez leading things off for the Mets. Struck out his first trip. 64 is a 14, so that's a walk. You have to have a double Z to stop it. He's only got a Z, so it will be a walk. First walk issued by either pitcher. As Keith Hernandez reaches, that'll bring up Gary Carter. Carter flew to left his first trip. 55, that's a double, that's an 8. But he's -5 against right-handers, so that makes Clemens a 23. We go to runners on first. And an 8 and a 23. Check the Merino boards real quickly. 23 and an 8 turns that into a 29. So we come down here to the infield. Now the Y is not going to, you don't use the Y when you're using the secondary results. So we go to the infield, and the infield is going to determine whether we get a fielder's choice or whether we get the runner advancing. So let's see here. Ground out runner to second, ground out runner to first on fielder's choice, runner out at second if they're fielding column 2. So the infield, let's look at the the Red Sox infield. 5, 13, 18, 26, 27. Do you count Gedman as well? I think you do. 27, that's 34, makes him a fielding column 3. So fielding column 3, it shows ground out to the pitcher, runner to second rather. So it's a ground out, but the runner will advance. Hernandez will go to second. And for the first time, we'll be on the Merino boards with runner at second. So Strawberry homered his first trip. 51 is a 9. He's +5 against right-handers, which knocks him down to a 13. So with the runner at second, runner on second, a 13, can a 13 stop a 9? 9 and a 13, no. 12 would have, but these 4 in the middle are blank. So that means we stick with the result that's here. Single runner scores. Slow is out and batter to second. So is the runner slow? Keith Hernandez is listed as neutral. He's not slow. So he will score, and the Mets take a 2-1 lead on Roger Clemens as Strawberry strikes again with a base hit. So Strawman, 2 for 2, both RBIs. Mets lead at 2-1 with 1 out here in the 4th. Runner at first again. So for Danny Heap. 42 is a 14, and that's going to be 2 balls with a runner at first and a Z. You get 2 ball count. So Heap will not get the walk. He'll have to earn something else. 21 is a 30. That's a fly to left. So that's 2 down for Heap. So 2 down, runner at first, 1 in. Howard Johnson, Hojo. Flew to right, first trip. 66, that's gone. Home run, Hojo. I don't know if Clemens can stop that. He's a 19 with that -1 result. Runner at first. Let's see, home run 19. Does he have an H? If he has an H, he can stop it. But Clemens does not have that H quality, so that home run's going to stand. It is gone. A 2-run shot for Hojo. 31 flavors. He found the one he liked right there and deposited that over the wall. 2-run homer. 4-1 Mets now all of a sudden. So Clemens getting shellacked a little bit, much to the chagrin of John McNamara. And here's Rafael Santana. 36. 36 is a 33. And with the bases clear, 33 is a pop out to second, but a Y is a strikeout. So it is a strikeout. 2 down. I'm sorry, that's the end. That was out number 3. My bad. So 3 runs for the Mets. And we go to the 5th. It is the Mets with a 4-1 lead. Spike Owen, then Clemens, and then Boggs. Not going to pinch hit for Clemens in the 5th, I don't think. So 44 is an 8. Owens -3, which makes Gooden a 17. 17 to an 8 will definitely take care of that. It is a fly to left. So it will not get the hit. It's a fly to left, 1 away. And without a runner on base, they're going to go ahead and let Clemens hit. If they had somebody in scoring position, they might pinch hit, but not in the 5th inning, I don't think. It's kind of early for that. 16 is a 28, and a 28 is a 6-3 ground out. So he's going to ground to short. So at least he hasn't struck out. He got the ball back, puts the ball in play twice. 2 outs, but at least put the ball in play. And here is Wade Boggs. 65, 35, that's a foul to the catcher. And that's going to end the inning. So Gooden just rolling along. And now he's got run support to back him up. We go to the bottom of the 5th. And Dwight Gooden will actually lead things off. Reached on a Clemens error. His first trip. 34, 31. That is a fly to center. 1 away for Len Dykstra. So here comes Dykstra. 46. 46 is a 29. 29. Grounded to the pitcher, but with an X it's a strikeout. So Dykstra has the hat trick. He's 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. So he has taken the full hat trick. Here is Wally Backman. 34 to 31, fly to center. Inning's over. So Clemens got through that inning, no problem. We go to the 6th. Still 4-1 Sox. Having to deal with Dwight Gooden. Here's Marty Barrett. 54 is a 32. That's a fly to right. So 1 away there. And that brings up Buckner. Red Sox in danger of going down 2 games to none. 43 is a 29. And that is a ground to the pitcher unless he has an X. Gooden has that X, so it's a strikeout. 2 down, 2 up, 2 down. That brings up Jim Rice. Jim Rice. 26. 26 is a 32. That's a fly to right. And Gooden, large and in charge since that first inning. Taking care of business. A little TCB action, taking care of business. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Keith Hernandez to lead things off. Followed by Gary Carter. 22 is a 7. And that's going to be a base hit. I don't think Clemens can stop that. You have to be really something to stop a 7. You got to be up in the 29 and 30 range. So base hit for Hernandez. He's 2 for 3. Brings up Gary Carter. 13 is a 14, but with a runner at first, it's 2-ball count because of the Z that Clemens possesses. 35 is a 36, runner at first, 36. Wild pitch, runner to second, wild pitch 3 only, otherwise it is a ball. So let's check, make sure Clemens does not have wild pitch 3. Oh, he is a wild pitch 3. Look at that. He is a wild pitch 3. Hopefully you can see that off the glare there. Can we focus this on here? Come on, get off of there. There we go. Wild pitch 3. See, it's got wild pitch 3 right there. So the book says If he said wild pitch 3, it's a wild pitch. Otherwise, it would have been a ball. But instead, wild pitch sends Hernandez to second, and Carter still at bat. 33 is a 0, so we go to the second column. That's going to score Hernandez most likely. 22, definitely. 22 is a 1. It's a home run for Gary Carter. Let's see here. He's a -5. That'll make him a 20. But he doesn't have the H, so it doesn't matter. Home run, Gary Carter. Third home run off of Clemens. And the Mets have kind of blown this thing open now. 6-1 here in the 6th. And you wonder how much longer Mr. McNamara is going to go with Clemens. Does have Tim Lawler, the lefty, in the bullpen. Strawberry, oh, 66, that's gone. Back-to-back jacks. Strawberry is second home run. And that's gonna do it for Mr. Clemens. McNamara has seen enough. And Strawberry is out of there. I'm sorry, Clemens is out of there. So Clemens is gone. Clemens is out of there. And we're going to have Tim Lawler, the lefty. Tim Lawler will be in. Lawler on his card. He is a 3 in relief, so not very good. Plus he's wild. But this is when you use guys like this when the game's out of hand. 3 there, okay. And let's see here. So for Clemens, he goes 5+, gives up 7 runs, all earned, 3 of them via the homer. 1, 2, 3, 6 hits. Got him for 1 walk. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts. So that's the line for Clemens. Close the book on him. Danny Heaps, the batter. He's a -9 against lefties. So Davey Johnson's going to make a pinch hitting move for Heap. And Heap's not a very good defender anyway. So they're going to bring in, looks like they're going to bring in Mookie Wilson. So Mookie Wilson's going to pinch hit and stay in the game to play left field. So Mookie Wilson. And what that's going to do as well, it may bump up. Let's see, he's a 2 instead of a 1. That makes him a 39, which still keeps him as a number 2 defender or defense rating. So Lawler will be facing Mookie Wilson. 56. 56 is a 34. 34 with the bases empty is a pop out to short unless the pitcher has a Y. Lawler does not, so it's just simply a pop out to short. Move this over here so we can get the score sheet in there. All right, Hojo. Hojo steps up. And actually Hojo, he may get replaced defensively. He's a 3 defender. Ray Knight's a 4, so Ray Knight's going to come in and take over at third after the inning is over. But they're going to let Hojo hit, obviously. 66 is a 1. I don't think it mattered. Hojo says, let me get out of here with the home run. That's the second home run of the game. It is now getting ridiculous. It is now 8-1. Second home run of the game for Hojo. And of course now he will be replaced defensively by Ray Knight. So we're going to have Ray Knight, who's a 4, will come in defensively. Santana, 44, another set of doubles. That's an 8. He's a +3 against lefties, so it's going to automatically get a hit because that moves Lawler down to a 0. So Santana with a base hit. Brings up Gooden. No sense taking him out. He's not going to bunt, not this kind of score. So Gooden's just going to swing away. 43 is a 29, runner at first. 29 does not have a Y, so it's going to be ground out runner to second. So it's a 1-3 ground out for out number 2. Does put Santana to second with 2 outs. And the top of the order, Lenny Dykstra. Doesn't normally bat against lefties because you can see he's a -9 against lefties. But good defender, and they're going to leave him in there with a big lead. 31. 31 is a 9. Well, that -9 is going to turn Lawler to a 12. So let's see if a 12 can stop a 9. A 9 and a 12. Yes, it can. So 9 and a... Oh, I'm sorry, runner's at second now, isn't it? Not at first. Let's make sure. Runner at second, a 9 and a 12. Still stops it. Comes to 26, which is a ground out, 4-3 ground out to end the inning. So the fact that we left Dykstra in there cost him a hit. But with the score being what it is, it doesn't really matter. So 4 more runs come in. It is now 8-1. 8 unanswered runs by the Mets have made this a laugher. Dewey Evans now to start the top of the 7th. Gooden still rolling. No sense taking him out. 62 is a 13. That's a strikeout. So Gooden, large and in charge. You can see the difference in the score sheet. The Mets score sheet is pretty messy from all their offense. The Red Sox score sheet is very clean. Up top, here's Gedman. 66, that's a 1. So let's see if Gooden has anything that can stop it. Gooden does not have the H quality, so that home run's going to stand. Rich Gedman. Solo shot. That's what they've gotten off of Gooden. 2 solo homers. 1 by Boggs, now 1 by Gedman. Cuts the lead to 8-2. And that brings up Hindu, Dave Henderson. So Henderson, 24 is a 13, struck him out. Gooden puts the kibosh on Henderson. Brings up Spike Owen. And they would pinch hit for Lawler if Owen reaches. 15 is a 10. I believe he will reach a 10. I believe it's an automatic base hit. Oh, not automatic by any means. My bad. You can actually stop a 10. So Spike Owen is a -3, which makes Gooden a 17. 17 to a 10. Right there changes it to a 31, which is a fly to center. So I spoke too soon. And the inning is over. So just the 1 run. I messed that up. I'm so used to putting zeros there. I started writing a 0 and forgot about the fact that Gedman hit the home run. So it's a good thing I use whiteout or correction tape or whatever, because I tend to make mistakes. So put that 1 in there. It is now 8-2. And Lawler is going to stay in there. He's set to lead off next inning, so may as well stick with him in a blowout. Here's Backman. -14 for Backman against lefties. That's why he platooned mostly with Tuffle. But with the lead being what it is, they want his defense. So they'll sacrifice the offense. 61 is a 36. 36 is a ball, unless the pitcher has a W. Lawler has a W, so it will be a walk. How about that? Lawler with his wildness. Leadoff walk. So Tim Lawler, definitely not like Jerry Lawler. He's not the king. Not in this game. Here's Hernandez. 12 with a 25 with a runner at first. 25. Double play. 4-6-3. So that'll help. That'll help Lawler a little bit. 4-6-3 double play. 2 quick outs for Gary Carter. Carter. 21. 21's a 20. I'm sorry, 21 is a 30, which is a fly to left. And that's going to end the inning. So that'll be it for Lawler as he goes 2 innings. And he gives up the 1 run on the homer by Hojo. And he also gave a single here, so that's 2 hits he gave up plus the 1 run. 1 walk. And no strikeouts. So that will close the book on Lawler. Now due up is the pinch hitter for Lawler. And Gooden, they're going to go ahead and lift Gooden, I think. He's gone 7 solid. No use wearing him out. So Dwight Gooden's day is done. They will call on a new pitcher. And the new pitcher is going to be lefty Randy Neiman. So Randy Neiman Marcus, there he is. Randy Neiman, the lefty, with the lefties coming up, Boggs and Buckner. A pinch hitter first and then the lefties. So Neiman is a 6 on his relief rating. 6, and he's a Z. So he's got a Z and he's a 6. So Neiman will be the new pitcher, and a pinch hitter will be Don Baylor. So Don Baylor will pinch hit for the Red Sox. Pinch hitting for Lawler will be Baylor. But before we do that, let's get the final results on Gooden. Gooden gave up 2 runs, both on solo homers. He went 7 innings. How many hits? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He didn't walk anybody. Struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there is your line on Gooden. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts, and 2 home runs he gave up. Don Baylor set to lead things off here against Mr. Neiman. 35 is a 42, and a 42 is a hit by pitch. Wouldn't you know that? Unless, let's see here, if he's got an HB0, then it is a ball, and he does have an HB0, does Mr. Neiman. So that means he doesn't hit any batters, so Baylor won't get that free pass. It's just simply a ball. And we'll try it again. 14's a 30. We know that's a fly to left. Standard APBA number there. So Baylor is done. And now we go to the top of the order for Wade Boggs. 64 is a 14, and that's a 1-out walk to Boggs. First walk issued by Mets pitching. Brings up Marty Barrett. Forty-two is a 32. The runner at first. I think that's still a fly to right. It sure is. So 2 down. And that will send us to Billy Buck. Billy Buckner -9 against lefties. 66 is a 0. It may not matter. 66 again. It's a 1. He is a -9, but I would only make Neiman a 15, and I don't think Neiman has anything to stop a home run. He does not. He's got a G. Let me take it back. He's got a G. So let's see here. -9 plus the set to 15. So can a 15, do we have a G stopping a 15 with a runner at first? Let's find out. Check the home run category. 15. Nope, he had to have an H. He got a G, but you have to have an H to stop the home run. So the home run will stand. Billy Buckner goes opposite field. 2-run shot. Cuts the lead to 8-4. And the Mets won't mess around with Neiman too long if he's going to not get the job done. So here's Jim Rice. I'm sure Neiman will only go 1 inning. So here's Rice. 11, that's a 6. With the bases empty, a 6. And let's see, he's a +3 against lefties. So that would make Neiman down to a 3. A 6 is a double. He is a double. He does not have an M, so he can't give up a home run off of that. But it is going to be a double for Jim Rice. And now Davey Johnson may not wait too much longer. He's got Doug Sisk ready in the bullpen if Neiman can't get it done. Right now it's 8-4. They're going to let him see if he can finish the inning out. Needs 1 more out. There's Dewey Evans. 22 though. It's 0, so that's more trouble. 13 is a 6 with a runner at second base. A 6. Let's see, Evans is a -6. That makes him a 12. 12 to a 6. I don't think anything happens there. Nope, it's simply a double. And the run's going to score. So back-to-back doubles. We'll score the run again. So that's 3 runs in this inning off of Neiman. And that's going to be it for Neiman. He's going to have to leave. He couldn't quite do it. They thought with a big lead they could put in a lesser pitcher, but that proved to not be fruitful. So Doug Sisk will be coming on. And he's going to be facing the lefty Gedman. But Gedman, even though he's terrible against lefties, they didn't want to take a chance with Neiman. He was just messing things up way too much. Doug Sisk, a 13, which is much higher than 6, obviously. And he doesn't have any qualities as far as Z or any of that stuff. So Gedman facing Sisk, trying to get out of this jam and finish off the top of the 8th. 51 is a 9. He's a +2. Sisk is a 3. That makes him 11. With a runner at second, can an 11 stop a 9? Let's find out. A 9 and an 11, yes, it turns it to a 27. 27 is a ground out to third, and that's going to end the inning, finally. So Sisk gets out of it, but 3 runs come in for the Sox, cut the lead to 8-5. And Davey Johnson not too happy about that. So now we need a new pitcher for the Sox, since they pinch hit for Lawler. And let's see who they've got coming up. We've got Strawberry coming up to bat, along with Wilson and Knight. So let's see. They got Sam Bito they could bring in, I guess, if you really wanted to go that route. And that's what they're going to do, because Strawberry's a -11. Strawberry is -11 against lefties. So they're going to bring in Sam Bito to face Strawberry, and then counter with Bob Stanley right after that. So Sam Bito is going to get 1 batter to face, and that's it. Sam Bito is a 5, and he's got a Y and a Z. So his only task is to get out Strawberry. So let's take care of Strawberry, and also let's take care of Neiman. 2/3 of an inning, gave up a home run, 3 runs all earned, 3 hits, and a walk. So ugly outing there for Neiman after Gooden did so well. So now it is Strawberry facing Sam Bito. 51. 51's a 9. So that brings us right into play. -11. And Sam Bito's a 5. Makes him a 16. So I believe a 16 will stop a 9 all day long. 16, maybe I spoke too soon. That's that gap in there, so it will not stop it. It's a base hit. So Sam Bito can't even catch a break. Thought he had a break, but he cannot. Strawberry's 4 for 4. 2 singles and 2 home runs. So that's all for Sam Bito. He failed to do his job. So he's going to pitch officially no innings. No innings. Give up the hit. Don't know about the runs. But Bob Stanley's coming on. Stanley is a 5. And he's got a Y and a Z, just like Sam Bito. But he is right-handed. So Mookie Wilson stepping in. 8-5 Mets, bottom of the 8th. 62 is a 13, struck him out. So Stanley gets the strikeout. 1 away. That will bring up Ray Knight, and he came in for Hojo, and so Knight's going to have to face the righty. He's -8 against right-handers, +9 against lefties. So not in his best area, but 6 may not matter. 66 is a 0. 16 is a 6. So a 6 is going to be a double. I don't think Stanley has an M that would cause any problems. He does not. So it's a double for Ray Knight. How about that? And let's see if the run scores. Double with the runner on first. Runner to third, a fast runner would score. Strawberry is fast, so he will score. And that run is charged to Sambito. So we can close the book on Sambito, but since Strawberry is a fast runner, he will score. And that will charge the run to Sambito. It is now 9-5. Dolly Parton game, 9-5. And Santana stepping to the plate. Zisk will stay in the game because he can get a save. He came in, he entered the game in a save situation, I think. It was 8-5. And let's see. No, he wouldn't because the tying run was, well, the tying run was on deck, so technically he would get the save. So here's Santana, 21-26. Runner at second, 26. Runner at second, 26 is a ground out to second with a runner going to third. That's out number 2. So do they leave Zisk in there? You know what? They're not worried about a save. Zisk did what he needed to do. He got the 1 out. So I think they're going to go ahead and pinch hit for Zisk. And they're going to bring in... They're going to... You know what? That's a tough call. Because we really want to leave Zisk in there. But they'll go ahead and do the pinch hitting thing. Lee Mazzilli will pinch hit. And Roger McDowell will be coming in for the Mets. It's not a save situation, but Roger McDowell will be coming in. Right now, Lee Mazzilli is going to pinch hit. Switch hitter. Against Bob Stanley with a runner at second and 2 outs. See what Mazzilli can do. It's +4 against righties. 13 is a 14. And with the runner at second, that's going to be a base on balls, I do believe. He's got a Z, but I don't think that stops it with a runner at second. 14 it does not. Puts runners at first and second. So a pinch hit walk by Mazzilli. Pinch hit walk takes us to the top of the order for Lenny Dykstra. Runners at first and second. 2 outs. Stanley trying to get that last out. 21 is a 30. That's a fly to left. He'll do it. And the inning is over. So Zisk, let's finish up on Zisk from the previous inning. All right, Stanley. Actually, he goes 1 inning, not 0. I wrote the 0 by mistake. So let's fix that. So Stanley goes 1 inning. And let's see, he gave up a hit and a walk. The run that scored was charged to Sambito. Got a strikeout as well. So the run comes in. It is now 9-5. Favor of the Mets. We go to the 9th. New pitcher for the Mets will be Roger McDowell. So Roger McDowell is on. And McDowell has a rating of 13 in relief. And he's also got, well, he doesn't have anything as far as a Z or X or anything. He's just a 13. So 13 it is. He's going to be facing Henderson, Owen, and a pinch hitter. So Henderson, Owen, and a pinch hitter. See what Hendu can do. 64 is 13. Struck him out. So Henderson gets the hat trick, 3 strikeouts. He's out of there. Brings up Spike Owen. I don't know how much they get on the bench to pinch hit for Owen. They do have Romero. He's not much better. Neither is Stapleton. They do have Greenwell. Greenwell's going to pinch hit for the pitcher. He's going to pinch hit for Stanley. So Greenwell's going to pinch hit for Stanley. But first, it's going to be Spike Owen. Excuse me. So Spike Owen. 65 is 35. It's a foul out to the catcher. So the Sox down to the last out. And it is Mike Greenwell. So the rookie, Mike Greenwell. Rookie Mike Greenwell will be pinch hitting against McDowell. 56 is a 34. Base is empty. 34 is a pop out to short, and that's going to be the ball game. As McDowell, an easy 1-2-3 ninth for the Mets, and the Mets now take a 2-0 lead in the series, with McDowell pitching the final inning, getting the strikeout, nothing else, no save situation. Win goes to Gooden, loss goes to Clemens. Check out the hits. 8 hits for the Sox and 10 hits for the Mets. So, first 2 games at Shea go the opposite of real life, as the Mets get the sweep in this 2-game set from Shea Stadium. Final score 9-5, 9 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Mets. 5 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for the Red Sox. Game 3, we will mosey on over to Fenway Park, and it will be Status Pro. So we'll get the Status Pro game out. It'll be Status Pro Basic. I don't have some of the newer, funkier things they do now with Status Pro. I'm just going to use what came out of the box. So it will be Status Pro. Don't know the pitching. I'm assuming that Oil Can Boy will probably pitch for the Red Sox, but I don't know who actually pitched that game. Just looking at their starters, he seems to be the guy that would pitch. I don't think they go to Al Nipper. So I'm guessing it's going to be Oil Can Boyd, just as a guess. And for the Mets, if I had to guess at the Mets, like I said, I don't have it in front of me. If we look at their starters, they've already used Darling and Gooden. So you could use Ojeda, you could use Fernandez. I think Aguilera stays in relief. So not sure who they're going for, but they're going to be looking to really put the series away. Red Sox going back home, do or die for them. See what they can do, see if they can get back in the series. Game 4 will be History Maker Baseball. And then assuming it's not a sweep, we'll go back to Stratomatic for Game 5. But this one belongs to APBA. It also belongs to Dwight Gooden and the Mets. They win it by the score of 9-5 in the Dolly Parton Special. And take a 2-0 lead in this 1986 World Series. All right, now I'm going to take a break. Go get ready to watch the Nats play the Astros in Game 2 of their series. And then we'll come back in a day or two with Game 3 from Fenway and Status Pro. So, hope you enjoyed that presentation of APBA Baseball 1986 World Series style. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And I will see you all down the road.